Hey y'all, it's Big Red. I am going to go more in depth about AGI manipulation and why you should do it. So I've went back through, I tweaked my AGI just a little bit more. So I've got as my first lineup, Kin, Harmon, Jesse, Roland, and Kelly. I have Kin because Kin attacks back row. So does Kelly. Jessie is to heal. She's a support. And then I have my two tanks in slot 1 and slot 2 as being Roland and Harmon. Uh, Harmon went down because I took away his contract. And I did that because I wanted to lower his AGI so that he would be the one drawing the fire from my opponent. He should be the target instead of Jesse. Jesse will be the target for the back row if you have an opponent that has a lineup that only attacks back row first. So if they had Kelly, Marlon, so Kelly attacks back row pretty much exclusively, and so does Marlon and Laurel. She attacks back row um, as one of her skills. Uh, that is why I leave Jessie in that lineup is so with lower AGI than my other two so that she can attract. She's the target for back row only attackers, and Harmon will be for lowest AGI attackers. I'm going to test this out in Arena and see what tweaks I need to do. So we're going to go ahead and go against the highest CP power I can find. He's got Rebecca is a back row attacker. Benson sets everybody on fire, but he's also really good for back row because when he sets everyone on fire, it includes the back row. Um, Bolton only does front row attacks. I'm not very sure what Roger does. I'm not seeing him very much. I have him, but I don't use him because I don't have the skill badges to upgrade him. And he's only purple. So Harmon is attracting fire. That's good. And now they should be going after Jesse the most, or Roland. Roland is good to have as a target as well because he also does shield. And they're leaving my Jesse alone to heal any damage to my back row. Rebecca, who only does back row, is going to attack Jesse instead of my Kelly or my Kin. This is really effective in player versus player. It is not so effective in exploration and the train ones where you're doing versus a AGI or an AI instead of a player. So now I should, since I have defeated the back row, just be able to eliminate the front row tanks. Should. Occasionally the tanks are beefy enough that they'll be able to beat you. Let's try it again. This is 606 as their CP, which is higher than my 582. As long as they don't also have their set, which it does look like they do. So they have Ken, Laurel, and Kelly. All of those are back row attackers. and they have their front two, Roland and Irma, set up to draw fire. So I will definitely lose this, especially because they have two 90s and the 85, and I only have two 85s. They have two mystics. You can tell by the color of the circle that they're standing on. So the fact that it's rainbow colored means that it is a mystic. And then there's the gold ones for the other three, where I have a red Harmon. You're going to have to excuse my son. So they've taken out my Harmon, which is who I had set as my my target. I did take out one of their back row, which is good, but it was their lowest. I'm faring much better than I should against level 90. All right. So there's 688 that I could fight, which I will most likely lose, but let's see what they have. They have two back row attackers and Jesse. They have got four mystics and a gold. They have, it looks like they're set up for substitute as well. So while I will lose, it is a good example of how this works if you focus on their setup instead of mine, because they are probably a bigger spender than I am. They definitely have better hero draws versus my two mystic, two gold. The only thing I could do right now is try to up the level of some of my heroes, or if I had gear that was higher than what I already have, I could switch that in. I believe I could make Jessie a higher AGI and improve her. Or I could go ahead and put in Galand. Right now, his AGI is 446 versus Jesse's 526. But as long as it is higher than Harmon's, which is 460, I would be able to do that. Now, if I raise him from 70 to 75, that should raise his AGI enough that I'd be able to substitute him in for Jesse. So now he's 476 versus Harmon's 460. And I will sub him because I have the skill points on him already. And it's all for research anyhow. If this works better, I could reset Jesse, and then I would have more memento coin that I could either upgrade Galand or I can upgrade my second truck with. So we'll go ahead and give this a try. We'll take out my Jesse. We will put in Galand. So now I have three back row attackers versus the two and a healer. We both have Harmon, though his is much higher than mine. And then I have Roland versus his Irma. I am going to switch the positions. of my tanks so that Harmon's are lined up, mostly because Harmon's special skill is not to attack straight across, it is to shield. So hopefully that'll let my Harmon live just a little bit longer. But once again, this is all theory until you test it all out. So we're taking out one of his back row attackers. If I can get Kin out, I can win. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah. No. Let's try one more. Now, obviously, I'm fighting people that outdo my CP by quite a bit. So I'm fighting 627 and I'm 582. If done correctly with the right skill points and the right heroes, you can beat somebody with 100 or 200 CP over yours. This one may be doable because we've got the two back row. Ken and Rebecca are back row attackers, but Baron, while I love the man, he is a random attack. He does not attack specifically back row or specifically lowest AGI. This is to prove, because you can see everyone that I'm getting matched up with has pretty much the same substitute target setup with varying levels of heroes. That having all of your heroes at 80 or 90 or 100 does not necessarily mean you'll win. I'm getting matched up a lot with people from my alliance that I've been sharing this information with, so they have done a great job at following it and resetting their lineups. And that one, like I said, he was six. He had two 80s, the rest were 75s, and he was, I want to say 627. And you can break this down with your statistics and see where you need to improve, what hero needs more skills. So my Harmon and my Roland didn't barely get to do any of their skills. They have the lower AGI. I want to focus on upping my AGI for my back row attackers. Um, but Harmon did do a lot of shield, and Roland did a lot of heal. So you want to pump more badges into those skills to have them stay alive longer. Because Roland took 8,000 damage and still outsurvived Harmon that took almost 7. We'll see if we can try one more. I'm going to go against this one. He should not have his set up. So he's all 75s. And this will show you a good contrast between the two of having mixed levels and manipulating your AGI. So his kin, which should be trying to target my back row, is only targeting Harmon. And Irma is a really good hero for being a lower quality. She's a great tank. She hits fairly hard for what investment you have to give her with the blue badges, but she attacks basically straight across. So we could try Roya or Rania, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna have. Oh, I am out. Can't do it anymore. So that is how, or that is why you should try doing the AGI manipulation that I posted a video about before, is so that in player versus player, and that was just an arena, but it really works well when you're attacking fortresses or you're being attacked to be able to survive and win. I use Arena to test out my lineups so that I can see what is working and what needs improvement without having to lose my troops. Because as a mostly free to play player, it takes entirely too long to replace those troops. Um, so I'm going to get back into the game. You guys have fun. Thank you.